right, we're rolling.
I don't have ears.
No ears?
This is still not on.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's on.
All right.
Oh.
Check.
Guys, welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start like we do every week by asking you to reach out to Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois, Save a Life, or 9, caddyshackil.org, or you can find them at my very own website, jacobvi.com. What was next? On jacobv.com, you'll be able to find clips from this show on all of our various platforms. I told everybody TikTok's probably going to stick around. Looks like that might be the case. We also do really great on the Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. I like a YouTube Short. A lot of the clips end up on X, if you're one of those people. Lucius, do you spend any time on X?
Absolutely not.
Good.
No. Maybe for a short time 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Or more. Are you on Blue Sky yet?
No, I don't think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I haven't done Threads.
Yeah, Threads is tough too. I don't think I've posted anything on there.
Yeah, I haven't done that, and there's just certain times where I draw the line, and I said, listen, like I skipped Nintendo Wii entirely.
What? That was like pretty prime, like teenager time for us.
2007
Yeah.
was the Wii, so it was a little old for me already.
Sure. That makes sense.
I was already playing guitar and,
Yeah.
you know, chasing ass.
Yeah, sure.
Patreon.com/JacobV, JACOBVI. We have more artifacts for sale. Full 4K multicam sets of live local music that I record. I play in most of the bands in there, and if not, you'll see it's a little more expensive because I am generating income for some of those bands on their behalf. For them. So I did the Winter Circus with Kyrkos at 2 nights at the Greenfinch the weekend after Christmas, and recorded multi-track audio of all of the bands both nights. So 7 bands. And then, but mostly to capture multicam of Kyrkos, but I got some of the other bands with multiple cameras just to test things out, and then go back and, you know, the week after I spent all the time editing that stuff. There's also a director's cut. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes of kind of just highlights from the whole weekend. And the majority, I think all of Kyrkos' 2 sets are in there. A lot of that stuff is on Kyrkos' YouTube page. They were episode 80 of this show, which is one of the first episodes I did here.
Yes.
And KIRKOS. No Antics has merch. They got shows coming up January 25th maybe, and January 31st. Blind by Stereo is playing January 30th. Kits Row, keep up with them. They have shows coming up. All those bands have stickers. Blind by Stereo has vinyl. No Antics has shirts. All 3 of those bands have tons of stuff to check out. No Antics, Blinded by Stereo, Kits Row. I have a song I'm finishing called Relics. There's versions of it on the Patreon if you want to check out the journey that song and its versions have been on, but that'll be coming out soon while I'm kind of on hiatus from public life for a minute after my infant is born. 10 days from now.
10 days.
Is the plan.
Crazy.
Merch, you know, really crazy night of trivia last night at Bluewood. It was wild. Over 20 teams.
Wow.
Not a dry seat in the house. You know what I'm saying? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
And sold a lot of chicken. And the game was fine. But if you're from that trivia game, shout out in the comments. We have good conversion on that game, is why I still do it. It's because those people, I put in my template for the slides with all the questions on them, the website at the bottom of each of the slides, and they have the little icon of all the different social outlets or what. I'm spamming them the whole time. It's a free game. I'm like, you have to hear about my free podcast.
Yes.
And the music, a lot of which you can access for free or for as low as $1 a week on Patreon. There's some kind of thing I'm missing. There's some kind of thing I'm missing about how to do all the stuff I do and turn it into large sums of liquid assets. I just haven't done tons of that yet. But God willing, So, my first note today, I think above average is the new high watermark. Like above average is the new goal.
Oh, really?
For things. I think people that go into the real world expecting people to perform duties to the standard that that person expects all the time is crazy. Like, I mean, when you go in somewhere, don't you expect like there to be some bullshit? Don't you expect something didn't get done? Maybe that bathroom's not a good idea.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, depending on the gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Some places you don't even ask.
Right.
I'm like, I don't even want to know.
I don't want the code. I don't want your key.
Yeah, I don't even want to ask for the code.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And really, and I learned this at Guitar Center when we were there many moons ago, that you just have to stay ahead of like the D- guy.
Yeah.
If somebody's consistently getting 55s and 60s and 65s on their daily kind of like performance rank, out of 100, that is, you just got to stay ahead of that guy.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? And especially, in a retail environment, there's plenty of those guys.
Yeah.
But also in the world, it's kind of that way.
Yeah. Like, there's like a Karen standard, which is A++, but, that's more personal. Like,
I also think a lot of them, though, come for the fight.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Yeah, that's why it's kind of like the Karen standard comes with aggression.
Yeah, like they want that to fight about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just the most obvious thing. And I say that to say this. Just choose not to completely crash out on people when others might, and you're going to emerge victorious. If you are at all polite and agreeable now in 2025, people will remember you far more fondly than you might think. Because people love me that I see in a regular day at like work or like out in the community at the Hampton Village McDonald's or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I've never flipped my shit on them. I'm always patient. And even if the stuff is late, I'm always like, no, you're fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I go up there like that.
Few and far between.
And you would think that I was like a pastoral figure to these people.
Yeah. No, the flip side of that is that it is very easy to be a good person these days. And
that's what I'm saying.
To make somebody's day.
It's so easy to be in the top 50 or top 49%.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of the opposite out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. That's exactly what I was trying to say. See, this is why I keep you around. You're so eloquent that...
Eloquent.
And
hot.
That you're... But you're absolutely right. It's easier to be a good person if, this is the thing though, we've talked about this before, you have to learn when not to go down the rabbit hole. If you see somebody who's not completely out of their mind on drugs, or or maybe they're off their drugs and that's the problem. If you see, like, outside from those outliers, if somebody's really getting upset and crossing the line of what's appropriate with a response, it's because they said in their brain somewhere that, oh, this happened, so the cool points are out the window. I don't have to abide by the rules anymore because of the perceived injustice I've just witnessed.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
And I think there's a way to have a discourse with somebody that's a disagreement, but it doesn't have to get aggressive. I think you can state your point in a dissatisfaction and not make them feel like a shitbag.
Yeah. Sure.
Like I got my tires. I got new tires on in my Subaru recently.
Precious.
And came back, and then all of a sudden the eyesight function just stopped working on my car, and that is your rear view backup system. The
backup camera.
The backup, not the camera, but the beeping, but before you hit something.
Oh yeah,
which is huge for me. I need that.
You need that. You're backing that thing in.
Your cruise control is gone, and that's just the big main stuff or whatever. But there's more, and I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here? My whole thing is failing because I have new tires on, and they're trying to get me to pay $170 to diagnose that, and I'm like.
But yeah.
But there's things that are happening that's not 2 and 2, and so I've had to have those difficult conversations. It's still not done yet, but I had a choice to either flip out on them, and go more hardcore or not. So there's definitely a choice.
Yeah, exactly, and I mean, and I'm like that too with all sorts of things. It's these people didn't come to me and say, hey, let me fix your car. I said, this is what works for me, for a place and a time and a location for my car to be fixed.
Yeah.
So can we start there with the equation? Exactly. See, I've always said this. People are stretched too thin, and everyone out in public is like a bear trap with a different amount of pressure required to snap it. You know what I mean? But you don't know how much pressure is required on all these different bear traps until you trap one. You know what I mean? Until you're in the trap. And
it's a people pleaser's worst nightmare out there.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a great way to put it. But all of those thresholds are definitely finite. Everyone has a limit. Everyone has a thing that could put them right over the edge. And so. This is a thing on social media, and maybe some people are doing it to be funny, but people that throw coffee back in a drive-through window,
that's crazy
because they're angry. Okay, thank you. I thought
that's dangerous.
It strikes me as crazy.
Absolute coffee.
A lot of the times
it's ice. Anything really.
A lot of times it's iced coffee.
Sure.
But yeah, they're mad and so they throw it like this and dump it in the.
Yeah.
It's all over social media. Instagram specifically. This is a problem. I just saw a clip today of you and me talking about how the algorithms are different in a lot of different places. And if TikTok were to get banned, which it doesn't look like it's going to happen, and I think the obvious move that the CIA wants is for us to move to Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
But the environment there is much different. That's like switching from a private school to a public school.
Which one's private and public? It feels like TikTok is the one that's the public school.
No, see, the stuff that I see on Instagram is much more unhinged.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, my Instagram is fucked up. It's all people getting shot and robbed and attacked by bears. And
damn.
Instagram is crazy, but my TikTok is mostly like creative people and people
I feel like on
selling
TikTok,
things.
people are trying to sell me more things.
They're really into that.
I'm scrolling through, and there's a lot of live things of people.
Yeah, it's like QVC now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the lives is people saying, okay, guys, up next we have this dress.
And then on Instagram, it's mostly drag queens.
That's the thing. Instagram doesn't have a direct storefront, which makes the experience better if you're not shopping for something.
That's true.
If I just want, and I love the eclectic mix of videos I get on TikTok, but even if it's not an ad, like a interruptive, like sponsored ad,
Yeah.
but it's now a lot of the content is about the items in the TikTok shop, and I'm like, oh, I liked it better when I could ignore it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, either drag queens or pets.
During COVID,
dogs.
Instagram was a hub for drag queens, and Patreon a little bit, and so yeah, I have a lot of drag queens on Instagram too. But they don't post as much as the Pakistani, spam bots that collect CCTV footage of people getting murdered.
No, yeah.
There's just a huge lane right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see. You just can't. This brings me to my next point. An army is an army. You know what I mean? Like, an army is a formidable force. It's a collective and dense collection of forces, right? ICP, Insane Clown Posse, has a whole army.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
What do they call them? The Juggalos?
The Juggalo Army, Juggalo Nation, they can't be denied. They meet up every year. They have a noticeable presence in the soda pop market.
Soda pop?
Faygo.
Oh, sure.
They maintain the relevancy of Faygo. Faygo is worth having because there's enough Juggalos to fuel the Faygo sales
Yeah.
and influence the market in a way where Faygo is somehow still viable. If I'm on a dating show in Middle Earth, have you been seeing that dating show where the people hold a red balloon
No.
and you pop a balloon if you don't like that person?
I saw one
or
clip.
somebody can pop their own balloon if they don't like you.
I just saw one clip of it.
Okay, it's very common and it's crazy. And there's some of this I want to talk about. But one of the things is if I'm on a dating show in Middle Earth, like from Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
and you bring me an elf and an orc and a dwarf and a hobbit and a man, I'm not picking the orc.
Yeah.
The orc is not competitive when it's one and one and one and one and one. You pull up with 2 legions of those motherfuckers, though, like they do in Battle of the Five Armies, and that's a problem. We have a disturbance, right? And why did I say that?
I don't know. What's an orc got to do to get a date, though?
What's an orc got to do to get? Some people are into that. Some people are into big, sloppy, violent. Some people are way into that. This was on my mind because I just watched all of the Lord of the Rings extended versions. We watched all the Hobbit extendeds and then all the LOR extendeds. Just wrap that up. It's a masterpiece. Extended is better. But the only reason orcs are a problem is because there's so many of them. We were comparing orcs to
Juggalos? Armies.
Juggalos. Oh, that too many people are stretched too thinly.
Yeah.
Right? One crazy person in a community is not a problem.
Yeah.
That person has enough checkpoints to get help, or they can't cover enough ground to disrupt the community.
Yeah.
But when that starts approaching double digits of your population, you're going to see at least 5 crazy people every time you go to the grocery store. Right?
Yeah.
So the bear traps we were talking about are all over.
Yes.
It's like waking up in a minefield.
Yeah, it's like you can't flip somebody off in traffic without being afraid of getting shot, getting ran off the road. Kayla does fear for me because I do flip a finger. I will flip you off if you cut me off or do something on the road. But that's as far as my extent goes.
I always double down on my opinion on how I should be driving because I start revving myself up and I'll start screaming at the person, not in a way that I need them to hear, but while I'm driving, I'm going to maintain the same way that I'm driving.
Yeah.
How I feel about how they're driving and knowing that and vocalizing to myself, I am justified in maintaining my lane and not letting you just fucking blurt out and impede traffic out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they know this is a 2005 Mercury Grand Marquis. We're celebrating an anniversary this season.
Amazing.
And it's a family heirloom. And they know that a guy that looks like this driving that car is going to take that road rage incident, if that's what they escalate it to, all the way. I'm not motivated by protecting that car. I got it for free. She's had a long, decent life.
Yeah.
So if you, also that car could take a hit.
Sure.
I can run them down with my 8 cylinders.
Yeah.
And they know if you're driving one of those, you probably got the glizz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Strapped.
And they don't want to go there with me.
Yeah, but okay, does that give you gains on the road? Like, do you feel like you have a little bit more room because people aren't even?
Yeah, there are certain types of drivers, certain types of cars that people definitely drive shitty about.
Yeah,
like
if you don't have a bumper, I'm not gonna flip you off. If your car is all fucked up, I'm probably less likely to flip you off.
That's the thing. So, like, when you're driving an older car, people would be like, you know what? I'm the one that's got something to lose here. I'm going to let that guy go ahead of me.
But if I'm in St. Charles, I'm flipping everybody off.
This is also a thing. I go out into the county less and less and less. And I really don't like it out there.
Yeah. Well,
because out here, I can uphold the standard of justice that I know me and my neighbors live by.
Yeah.
But when you start getting west of here into different municipalities, they have different approaches.
Yeah.
And they may, there aren't enough shitty cars out there. They start to look at me like maybe I'm the riffraff.
Sure.
Which is not the case here at home.
Yeah.
So that's hard. I don't like to go out there. And if I do, I take my wife's Volvo.
Yeah. I also, people don't like to use their horns in St. Louis. Like somebody's like sitting at a green light or something.
No, they'd rather shoot at you.
Exactly. So I'll do a little friendly like boop, burp, burp, or I will lay it on. I think I got this training from whenever I lived in the Boston area. Because
I forgot you did that.
There, it's just common. We can have an exchange of fingers and horns, and it's fine, or
because nobody's armed.
Nobody's armed. It's a way of life out there, and it's led me to be comfortable with using my voice in my car for my rage, my anger.
Yeah, the problem is though, you don't want to go out of your way to make sure the other person knows you're upset, because that's how you get yourself into a jam.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm not going to antagonize.
But it's good to vocalize.
I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know.
You got to deflect the negative energy they're sending you.
I think that's what is going to save me, is the fact that I'm not going to antagonize. I'm gonna let my voice know and just let it go. Like, hey, it's time to go. The light's green. Yeah, but in like New York, the light will turn green, and then less than 2 seconds later, somebody will be honking the horn. That is like, the horn is just another thing that they use. It's like it doesn't even mean anything out there.
It's really aggravating, especially right now with so many lanes still being like iced over, like on the sides. There's a lot more traffic in the center lanes around this neighborhood, for example. And so if you're trying to go left, but you're in the same lane behind somebody who's just going straight, you got to wait all the way through your fucking green arrow. You can't get to it and there's sometimes where the intersections are real bad around here. If I don't see a cop stopped at one of the stops, I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And as soon as I see there's nobody using the turn lane that currently has the signal, they're clear. Zip, zip. Nobody's moving yet. I'm in control. I know exactly.
Are you running red lights? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I'll go into the lane of where oncoming traffic would be to get out of there.
Oh, sure.
Say we're at Chippewa on Kings Highway. This happened exactly like this the other day.
Okay.
I'm going westbound on Chippewa.
Okay.
Sitting at the red light at Kings Highway, and it's all whack and everything's bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's going to be green arrow on my left, and then green arrow in front of me, and then my green light before I can go. But I know once this car is done here, that light is still green. Nobody's coming behind him. Nobody's coming inverse of him the other way.
Yeah.
There's no law enforcement on the scene. I gotta go. I'm out of there.
Bye.
I was first in line. I didn't have to go around anybody.
Yeah.
I had to go. I had to fucking go. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, I could see that being a thing. I do draw the line at egregious red light running. You know, it's a problem.
No, I certainly don't like to run a red light while like speeding up to catch it or blowing it entirely without, but if I'm sitting at a red light, especially at night, and there's nobody around.
Yeah.
And I feel vulnerable sitting at a red light. Mm-hmm. My cousin just got mugged the other day.
Oh, really?
She was walking down the street on the hill, right here, and right over there. And some guy jumped out of the car and pointed a gun at her, and she never felt like he was going to hurt her.
Right.
But
that's scary still.
Yeah.
During the day?
Broad daylight, like noon. High noon.
Good Lord.
I think he was by himself, which is not usually the thing. And that's when it's scary, is when it's multiple dudes. Or they're usually kids. They're usually younger people.
Yeah.
And that would really upset me if that happened to me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because that's somebody's baby. Mm-hmm. And I'll send him to Jesus. I don't want that.
I don't want that.
I don't want to send him to Jesus.
It's an impossible choice.
But it's not up to me. He made that choice.
You started this.
A lot of the time, those kids don't even have bullets in those guns.
Think so?
Bullets are expensive. A lot of times, the bullets won't match either. My bullets match. Can I tell you that? Mm-hmm. My bullets match.
My bullets match.
French woman scammed out of $850,000 American dollars in fake Brad Pitt romance.
Who has that much money?
This is what I'm saying. How does a French woman have almost $1 million that she can Venmo a fake Brad Pitt on the internet?
And who is so impressionable that they believe that Brad Pitt needs $850,000? And why are you giving it to him? What is she? Like an art collector or something?
But it's not even the real Brad Pitt.
Exactly, yeah.
53-year-old French woman named Anne was scammed out of $850,000. Am I saying that right? 850,000?
Yes.
It's 850 with 3 zeros?
Yes. $850,000. Close to a
How
million.
long are we at right now?
27 minutes.
I could say this then because it's deep enough in. There was a scandal, I'll say, that I was close to locally in the sense that I knew people involved, but not in the sense that I knew anything about it before the public did. And it may have involved an allegation where a guy perchance swindled a love interest of his out of $250,000. Mm-hmm. And the comment I remember seeing on the RFT article, and the RFT is now debunked, includes the comment, you have to recognize the game. That if you could swindle a bitch out of $250,000, you are throwing some dick.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, this was an internet catfishing relationship. These are obviously photoshopped pictures of Brad Pitt in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
And apparently this 53-year-old French woman, that's the right age for that, too. That's the right age for people who are getting catfished. Was it Mary on Sister Wives that thought she was in love with somebody that was not real on the internet? And she's about that age. Uh-huh. She may be older than that. And but here's the thing. We should look this up. Exactly why is that even possible?
Right.
If you could torture all of my family to death in front of me, and that's the only way I'm ever going to get close to $850,000.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have to die for that kind of cash to just fall into my lap.
Yeah.
I don't know where you would get 850. You know what? You could do a lot with that. But why did that lady have that liquid to get scammed that?
I don't know.
Because there's no way people in France have $900,000 mortgages. There's no way.
No way.
French Brad Pitt scam?
And if Brad Pitt popped into my DMs, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, Brad Pitt is talking to me. I'd be like, who the fuck is this? I'm getting currently scammed.
Brad Pitt is a bumpkin. He is a handsome slob from the cornfields of Springfield.
Yeah.
So he is not sitting around in a hospital on an iPad messaging you.
Mm-hmm. No, he's not.
A French interior decorator who described how she had been scammed by a fake Brad Pitt with whom she thought she was having a long-distance romance for a year. The hoax started with Anne, who was then married with a wealthy man. To a wealthy man is what that should say. Was vacationing with her children in the French Alps and downloaded Instagram to post pictures of her ski trip. The scammer first pretended to be Brad Pitt's mother and told her that her son needed someone like Anne to help him. Eventually, Anne began receiving AI-generated photos and passionate messages from the fake Brad Pitt, whom she said knew how to talk to women. You know, like the real Brad Pitt. The person pretending to be the actor ultimately claimed he needed $1 million for a kidney treatment because he was unable to access his bank accounts due to his divorce with Angelina Jolie. See, there's good research in here. Anne, who by that time was divorcing her husband, had received funds from the settlement and gave it all to the scammer.
Oh my God.
So she got $850,000 cash in a divorce settlement from a millionaire and then immediately dumped it all on a Instagram scam bot pretending to be Brad Pitt in a hospital.
If I'm giving you, let's just say like $500, that's a lot of money. A lot of money for me.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I could use $500.
If you give me $500, or sorry, if I'm giving you $500, I at least need to meet in person.
I need to see the body.
I need to see you. I need to touch you.
I want to see your wounds.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see the stigmata if I'm giving you $500.
I'm giving you $500. Like, this is giving Nigerian
Did you hear
Prince.
Mel Gibson's doing Passion of the Christ 2?
No.
The Resurrection of the Christ?
Really? Mm-hmm. Is Jim Caviezel in it again?
I hope so. Mm-hmm. Because he hasn't really been able to do anything else. So he might as well stick with that one thing.
Yeah.
It's like Orlando Bloom was Legolas in 6 movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let him... There's Robert Downey Jr. is probably coming back as Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because it's the only thing people like him doing, apparently.
Yeah. Or what's that? Dr. Doom? Is that who he is now?
Who?
Freaking, what's his name? You just said it.
Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah, Marvel's bringing him back as Dr. Doom. Did you see that? Yeah.
I don't think I understood that's why he was dressed like that, but with the green?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like, why... He died.
Iron Man died.
You can't... Yeah.
Dr. Doom's not dead.
Oh, no.
That's MF Doom. We lost MF Doom.
The motherfucking Dome. Mm-hmm. But how are you going to explain that in the universe? Like, hey, this twin...
His face will probably be covered. Or maybe he takes the shape of their fallen colleague to be evil.
Yeah.
There, I did it.
If I saw...
Send me $850,000, Brad Pitt.
Oh, you're going to send me some expensive gifts and you can't afford the customs payment? Let me send you $9,000. That's insane. That's one thing I just read, is that they said that he said he was going to send expensive gifts and couldn't make it through customs, couldn't afford it. And so she sent him $9,000.
So this ended at the Cannes Film Festival when Brad Pitt officialized his relationship with Inez de Ramon.
Oh.
So Brad Pitt went to the Cannes Film Festival with an official new girlfriend, and that was the first time this lady said, wait.
No.
Wait a minute. I thought it was going to be me. That's what I would have said. I'll send you half now. You get the other half when you take me to the Cannes Film Festival, Bradley.
Yeah. That's crazy. I can't fathom it. Like, she's saying that she had her doubts, before sending the money, but every time he was able to dissipate those doubts. And that's crazy because you're going to have to be standing in front of me for me to feel 100% comfortable sending you $200, $100.
Yeah. Like I
have a hard time giving Wikipedia money.
I do that every now and then.
Every now and then.
Not ongoing.
Oh, no. I'm not reoccurring, but every once in a while I'll toss them a couple dollars because I do use them. And they are the last free platform.
And they stepped their game up. Like the big deal when we were kids was that you couldn't track down the real sources. Uh-huh. Now you can.
Yeah.
And it'll say citation needed if it's a sketchy part that maybe you should cite that part. Mm-hmm. But it's, it's a great platform for research that you're going to cite.
Yeah.
And I would do that. The TikTok ban has been punted to Trump's administration. So we're probably fine. Go ahead and stock up, though, on the NeuroGum while it's on clearance. Mm-hmm. Trump's inauguration is to be moved indoors. Ooh.
Is that a first?
Yeah, it's usually outside.
Yeah.
In the Capitol Mall, they call it, I thought. I saw they were scanning this morning, creating a radiation map of the premises so that they could then identify abnormalities closer to the day of.
Interesting.
Indoors. That's just 17 minutes ago. Let's look. There's 286,000 ticketed guests. So I guess they'll put screens outside?
Yeah.
Oh, dangerously cold temperatures projected in the nation's capital. I have ordered the inauguration address in addition to prayers and other speeches to be delivered in the United States Capitol Rotunda, as was used by Ronald Reagan in 1985, also because of very cold weather. So that's the precedent. Mm-hmm. We will open Capital One Arena on Monday for live viewing of the historic event and to host the presidential parade. I will join the crowd at Capital One after my swearing in. So they're going to do it like how I did Game 7 of the Stanley Cup when the Blues won for the first time. Mm-hmm. Is that I was watching it live on the Jumbotron at Busch Stadium, which was fun.
Yeah.
So, but that's funny.
They're took it to the streets.
They're like live streaming it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the big thing everyone wants to talk about. Michelle Obama's not going to stuff right now because she doesn't want to be around certain people that maybe perpetuated half of the country calling her and her children monkeys for the last 15 years.
Sure.
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
If I was trying to be sweet and trying to help kids be healthy and stuff, and then everyone responded by calling me and my beautiful children horrible names for 15, 20 years, I probably wouldn't want to pop out for all the festivities.
Sure.
I'd probably stay. She's in Hawaii.
Yeah, stay.
So, I'd post up.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, that's how I feel about that. And I don't know. Is that Monday that's happening?
I think it's Monday. Yeah.
On Martin Luther King Day?
Out of all days.
And that means I have off work. I wonder if that's on purpose.
I don't know. Probably not. I wonder if it's historically been on this day.
If only there was a way for us to know.
Yeah. Has the inauguration always been in January? Congress had originally established March 4th as Inauguration Day, but the date was moved to January 20th with the passage of the 20th Amendment in 1933. So it's always the 20th?
It's always the 20th. Martin Luther King Day is always a Monday.
Yeah.
They sync up this year. It's not always on Martin Luther King Day.
Okay. That makes sense.
It just happens to be Martin.
Yeah, okay. because it's always on the 20th. So it could be like next year. Sorry, in 4 years, right?
Yeah.
The next president, it could be sworn in on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever that
Correct.
is. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, interesting.
And so, I'm going to hunker down. I think I have an ultrasound that morning.
Yeah.
Check on this baby.
Focus on the baby.
I think it's a growth scan. Everyone keeps asking me what she weighs. I'm like, don't ask her that when she gets here.
Also rude.
Yeah. What? My baby?
My baby? Wow.
So the internet is not really a good place to get news anymore.
No, where do we go?
So, that's the thing. I like to just listen to other people talk about it, really. Because that whole thing. Bird and Barrel's back open.
Bird and Barrel.
Bird and Barrel, and I've been a couple of times, and it's good.
Yeah.
The sides are good. The tacos are good. They have like a Jack in the Box style taco that they make from scratch in-house that's lovely.
Nice.
And then with, of course, the nugs, I get the dark meat nugs, which is whole chicken thigh sliced into nug portions. It's not like ground. So it's a premium product, and I've been posting older clips of the show because it's the new year and whatnot. And that was us talking about how we were waiting for this day, and then they opened again just before Christmas for some reason.
Yeah.
They're in like Tam Avenue now. Like it was like Nomad in there before or something, and then Max was in there before that.
Max,
the burger guy, Max Local
They're
Eats.
already closed?
No, he's in a different spot.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Because he's down the street. But...
Yellow. I'm having dinner with my father after this.
Oh, wow.
So I was trying to sync up with him. He must have been in some kind of, I don't know. He was taking, who knows? Cut that.
Cut it.
Big scandal locally, though, right now is that a lot of the side streets around here are not salted or shoveled.
Salt, pray, love.
And salt is the solution because you can't plow those because they're too narrow, especially by me. And you pile all of those cars in, but they should have been salted by now. Kara Spencer, who I historically do not like, is kind of leading the charge on accountability on this issue. It's all going to be fucking melted by the time anybody gets around to doing anything about it. But my street is still slick and a nightmare.
Yeah, so is mine. Especially
out here.
Especially at night. Like, take
it's
a
cold,
corner too far. Yeah, I mean, like in the past couple days, it's like loosened up enough where you're not sliding immediately on it. You can kind of get a little traction on your shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah, at night it's super dangerous. You know, it's hard to park your car on it without a fear of like sliding into another car or something. Yeah. But yeah, it's horrendous out there. And I mean, we just had a tragedy of, well, we don't know for sure, but that Prius that was hit by that semi truck the other day.
Yeah.
Could possibly be because of the ice that was on 44 right there.
I'd believe it.
There's a huge patch of ice.
I mean, I would believe because
and they cleaned it up after the woman died.
Yeah, I went to high school with her.
Did you really?
Yeah, her sister's our age.
Oh, wow. Such a tragedy.
And I sat in traffic for 45 minutes that morning because of that accident. I didn't realize why. And then I connected the dots later. I'm like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was, yeah, I would totally believe the truck couldn't stop. And because it hit with a force that was like full speed.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
To throw the car off of the...
Completely off of the highway, down the hill.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Insanity.
So be safe out there. But it's like, I don't know what the solution is, because realistically, if my priority is safety for myself and my car, I still wouldn't be driving my car or going to work. But I've been going to work all week.
Right.
But getting in and out of my neighborhood specifically is a nightmare. And my mom works in the neighborhood I work in, but she has to go to people's houses
Sure.
to visit them for, medical updates.
Yeah.
And their neighborhoods are a nightmare.
Do you have grooves in your ice yet? Where
Sure.
that my
but
car
they're
like
slick,
bounces
all
off.
broom. It's like a bobsled.
Because the streets are tight. I'm sure. Well, are yours one way?
Yeah.
Either way, but so ours are tight and two way on some, and when you have to get over, you have to go onto the more ice, like the worst
That's
kind
the
of
thing.
ice.
And so if the two-way ones are awful because whether or not there's cars parked, there's going to be pounds of
Snow.
ice that I can't drive over.
Yeah.
But I had this problem driving down Utah to go to trivia last night that we kind of have to both be scrunched up in the middle to pass through here.
Yeah.
There's really only one lane of stuff clear, but it's some of this lane and some of my lane because neither of us can drive up on the canyon that we've developed.
Yeah.
Also, the first day we thought we were going to come back from winter break after having delayed winter break because of snow days.
Yeah.
They then that next morning had to cancel it because we couldn't get the buses out of the bus lot. But I think that means because we didn't have people to drive them.
Oh, sure.
Because if I have any holiday pay, any vacation time, any sick days at all, I'm going to use it that first day back after the snowstorm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
So, and they already have a problem. We don't have enough bus drivers.
Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely. And it's a real crisis. And just paying them more doesn't make it worth it. Especially when there's ice out there, it's dangerous. You got to go into the community and pick people's children up in a giant metal death trap with no seatbelts or heat on ice.
Yeah.
And 90% of my kids ride the bus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they have to. I mean, if the school is open, those kids have to take the bus. Otherwise, we're not going to have anybody.
Right.
We lost a good friend of mine, my uncle's brother-in-law. So my aunt's brother. Sweet guy. We would sit for days at a time in the den in their house, which is like a second living room. Canadians don't know the den. We're big in Canada and Bangladesh.
Oh, wonderful.
But the den actually originates in Bangladesh.
Oh, does it?
That's why it was so popular in those ranch-style houses they built in the 70s, is because George Harrison came back and said, listen, I've been to Bangladesh. You got to build a den.
Den.
They call-
Bangladesh.
It's pronounced den.
Den.
PlayStation 2 was new at this time. And we could spend hours on Grand Theft Auto 3 with our dear friend Tony, who has ascended to glory. And that's hard when that happens, because I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about it.
Yeah.
But R.I.P. And there's just some people that you know age out of their time here, and you realize, you know what? I never had a reason to block that person. This goes back to what we were talking about before at the top of the show.
Yeah.
Is I don't have a single memory of this guy that's like negative. Like not at all, like never once where he cussed me out, never once where he got in my face, never once where he was doing something sketchy or saying something shitty. And the only reason I know him, like if you're my aunt by marriage, I might not know all your siblings.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But they lived right across the street from us. And so when, and my dad's brother, my uncle lived with them before they were all married. He shared a bedroom with his fiance's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had twin beds.
Like when they were kids?
They were young adults.
Yeah.
Young adults, but they were engaged and she was finishing school, and they had made that arrangement with them so that he could save up money for them to get a house when they got married, I think, or something.
Yeah.
And then, but it was like a whole little community right at the end of this street here that we lived on. And so times where it was either sit in the back of my dad's truck and wait for him to finish all his work for the day, or hang out over there with them. It was just as easy to go hang out over there with them.
Yeah.
And, You don't think about that when somebody's around. You don't think, hey, this person is great, because we've never had a fight where, you know, we were at risk of maybe disowning one another.
Yeah.
But then if you sit and you reflect on a person's entire life and you realize, oh, I never had a reason to conspire against this person for any reason. You know what I mean? I never had to defend or heal from my experience with this person. Like we were saying before, it sounds easy, but not enough people are making it easy.
Yeah.
I think is the thing. So you got to choose. If the options are resolution, which is what I keep in my heart, or violence, don't be the one that chooses violence. And then you'll notice just by doing that, you're like a big deal now.
Yeah. Yeah.
People think you're such a sweet guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people will even say to you, man, if I was you and I did what I did to you to me, I wouldn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I'm like, I forgive you, baby.
You know, you're setting an example for the people that are witnessing this as well.
Yeah, you got to let other people know that, hey, if somebody comes at you crazy, wouldn't it be cool if instead of shooting them in the face and getting away with it, what if you just talked them down and you guys had a nice lunch?
Yeah. De-escalate.
I love de-escalation.
De-escalate.
Because I'm not even saying that sometimes you don't have to kill somebody. But if you de-escalate them first, then you could really make an informed plan on how you want that to happen. Talk them off the ledge, lure them into submission, get them to go to sleep, and then take them out. But make your decision and your plans on your own time.
Yes.
Don't pop it off on the street all willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying that. I just bought this to play with.
Sure.
It's really a prop, and it's a part of my... I just like how the box folds. See how it's all together now?
It's so nice.
It's like I was never in there. The inauguration's being moved inside. New music from Jacob V is on the way. No Antics has new music coming out. Blinded by Stereo, I think that new EP is finally mastered. It sounds beautiful. Some of this stuff you can find on patreon.com/JacobV already. But otherwise, if you really want to wait until it hits some kind of format that nobody makes money off of, you're going to be welcome to do that. It's just going to be in due time. But you want to keep up with Kits Row, No Antics, Blinded by Stereo, and just me, Jacob V. I think a good friend of mine is maybe coming back to town at some point in the not so distant future, in which case we'll accelerate some of the production on the solo stuff, I think. But just because I need accountability buddies.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody needs to keep my hand out of my own pants.
Sure.
And I've always said that. And because of just of what I've seen.
Sure.
Doorstop-Studio.Square.site.
Yeah.
Is I don't know, man. Are you doing anything Monday for Martin Luther King Day and the inauguration?
Oh, hell, no. I'm probably just going to hunker down.
Hunker down?
I'm gonna hunker down.
Because that's what we got to look forward to. We got to book a couple episodes out because of my infant is coming.
Your infant is on the way.
10 days from right now. So this will go out this weekend and then, but the Patreon's booked out too. I posted so much extra in the Patreon. The Patreon's good for several weeks here. So keep up with us with keep up with us there. If we have clips of the show, TikTok, Instagram. My God, so much. JacobV.com. I'm trying to make it a more welcoming hub of all of that information. So shout out to Anthonino's. That's what I'm having for dinner. I'm on my way there now. And we'll see you next week.